I didn't understand what was going on. We were just like looking at each other.
I saw what was like a piece of machinery. It was like on Church Street, over by Park Place, and I shoot it, not knowing what it was, and then someone said, "Oh my God, it's a piece of the plane." So I'm shooting it, and I see a guy on a gurney, and I start filming that, them strapping him up. He has a neck brace on. They bring him down to the front of the steps now. In the gurney, he has the neck brace on. His eyes like pop open. So when I look up, all I saw was smoke. I head down the block, running. I didn't think about anything about the camera, the shot. I'm just thinking to get the hell out of there, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's coming down. All I see is smoke. I get to the end of the block, and I turn around, and all I saw was just this blob of smoke just coming down.
And then the next thing.
Okay, you can see this is just after the second tower came down at around 10:30 this morning. You can see a sense of the about all day. People just attempting to evacuate the area. That looks, well, it's difficult to tell where that fence is. It looks like it could be City Hall Park. But you can see, even at City Hall Park, which is quite far from the scene, yes, it is City Hall Park, just how thick that smoke was.
And clearly City Hall in the distance there, and that cloud of dust coming toward everybody with the collapse of that building, and it was such an entirely unexpected development, because the fire that we saw burning up at the top of the tower, but then that explosion that ripped through there, and it was not something that we expected, and dramatic to watch.
We've said this before, but at first to see the initial impact where the buildings were affected, and that was about it. And given the fact that, you know, many of us have lived through the '93 bombing, which was at the structural base of the building, it just did. I mean, I suspected that there was some structural damage, but it never occurred to me that the building would come down until I saw it coming down before my eyes.
And you had questions at that time. You know, I went through my head, is the World Trade Center going to open again, or are they going to have to clear things out and tear it down? But at that point, my head was thinking of a relatively orderly evacuation, people going down the stairs at the World Trade Center, and then we saw the first of the towers get ripped down in that explosion, and then 20 or 25 minutes later, the second.
If you think about how many flights there are, probably how many stories were there? 113, something like that. You know, the amount of time that it would take to get down if you were anywhere in the area that was possible to, you know, which wasn't utterly destroyed. I mean, I think it would take the better part of an hour. So I have to imagine that a lot of people, even if it was an orderly evacuation, a lot of people were still in that building trying to get out of that building when it came down, in both cases.
We'll continue to look at some of this videotape. This is unedited videotape that's coming back to us from our various field crews who got down to the area of the World Trade Center, shot this videotape, and have now delivered it back here. Of course, it's difficult for us to move our live facilities in and out of there, so in some cases the easiest way for us to bring this videotape to you is actually physically to bring it back here uptown. And
everyone in the city should remain calm. The very best thing to do right now would be to remain home. If you're outside of southern Manhattan, you should remain where you are. You shouldn't panic. You shouldn't worry. We're doing the best that we can to evacuate southern Manhattan below Canal Street. If you are in southern Manhattan below Canal Street, you should walk north and get out of southern Manhattan. And the police and the fire need all of the room and all of the space possible to try to evacuate the people at the World Trade Center. This is a terrible tragedy. The best way we're going to get through this is if we remain calm and just listen to everyone, not to panic. We've communicated with the White House. They are doing the best they can to secure the airspace around the city. We've already seen military aircraft, our military aircraft up in the air. So people should remain calm. They should remain where they are, except if they are in southern Manhattan. If you're below Canal Street, you should walk out of southern Manhattan and walk north, as these people are doing right here.
And Giuliani is covered in white dust. He's with Tom Von Essen, the the fire commissioner, Bernie Carrick, the police commissioner, Tony Coles, a bunch of his aides, and just about maybe 2 reporters, 1 cameraman. So we're walking up Church Street as he's trying to kind of collect himself, figure out where they should go next, and barking orders to his aides as to where to go. There was tremendous confusion about where to relocate City Hall. City Hall was deserted, evacuated. One police plaza was evacuated. There was no place to run the city from.